May I ask the organist for the evening to please take the stage?
Can I get everybody to please rise? Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Del.
Everybody, this is Bell. Del. This is Bell.
Bell. This is Jerry. And for our last show, it was just the two of us on stage. But tonight, we're joined by none other than God.
That's right. It's Holy Trinity, folks.
You see, we were here at this very improv theater only but 1 month ago. Was anyone here to join us? Yes. Thank you.
The Spirit's led you back to us tonight. We will always be grateful.
We spoke to you last month, two young men still finding their path through life.
But one thing happened, and that happened this very day, ladies and gentlemen.
It was a terrible car crash. Could have been the worst thing that ever happened to us, but no. Dare I say it,
I think it turned out to be
the best thing that ever happened to us. For you see,
we were on McClay Street. We were walking towards that Burger King. When we happened to see a tent set up at McClay and 6th.
And well, we know better than anybody, when you see a tent, there's probably someone in there who needs some guidance. Needs some motivation. They might be feeling lost. Unless you're outside among trees, you don't go in a tent as your first choice.
So we ran right across that street to get to that tent.
Boom.
Boom.
Mack truck.
Hit a grandma.
It hit us too.
That's right.
And as we lay there, dying, going towards that sweet, beautiful light, nothing felt better than going towards that light.
It felt like I was going home.
But at that moment, God himself appeared to us and he said, Bell, now is not your time.
I have a purpose for you.
For you see, tonight, there will be a gathering of people at that very improv theater you visited last month. It turns out that your work there was not done.
No, sir.
No. Not done at all.
Can I get an amen out there in the house?
Hey!
Oh, can I get a hallelujah?
Hallelujah! Ooh, it sounds like we got a house full of believers! So our work is not done. It is just beginning.
The Lord said to us, you're not going to sleep under those pews tonight.
No.
You're going to sleep on top of those pews.
For when you are on top of the pews instead of beneath them, you are closer to God. So let us all elevate ourselves so that we may be closer to the holy presence of God.
There's one thing we learned in our journey in the past 5 or 6 hours. It's that God is up there somewhere.
God is up there. He is up there watching. He is up there caring. He is up there planning prescribing, and judging. And it seems that me and my good friend Dell, we had done something to bring God's judgment upon us. That Mack truck was not just an inefficient vehicle. It was a vehicle for a message from God Almighty. He said, boys, don't go towards that light. I want you to open your eyes. Not just lying there on McClay Street, but open the eyes to your life.
He meant eyes in a spiritual sense.
Yes.
The way that song is like, I was once blind, but now I see.
They're not talking about ocular surgery.
There's no lasers involved when the Lord's at work.
No, he's talking about your spiritual eyes, the ones you can't point to, poke out, or correct with lenses. Any blind man can see the Lord.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you. So we come to you tonight with renewed vigor and a sense of purpose that we have not yet known in our lives.
We didn't know how lost we were
Until we were found.
That's for you.
Face down on McClay Street. We woke up, it was 3:15. We knew we'd be coming back here tonight. We hadn't booked it.
No.
We just knew. We woke up on the street and we said, we led those people astray last time.
We were the lost ones, and now they're lost too. We gotta help them.
And so, like any good shepherd, we are here to steward you all towards a better pasture.
The Lord loves metaphors. Can I get an amen?
Amen! Now,
Got shivers.
praise God. So far, this has been all about us, and of course, this is not about us.
No.
It's not even about you. It's about the Lord.
Check your egos at the door, people.
But what are we without God? All of us have God within us. So we help God, we serve God by serving you. We are here to solve all of your problems. We will not leave until we have solved every person's every problem.
You might say two dapper young men and Jerry can't possibly solve everyone's problems, and I'll tell you this, people.
Tell them.
Through the Lord, all things are possible.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Now, who here would like to call out a true problem from their life?
Ain't no words.
That is, I hope for you that is not a real problem.
I think that man's problem is he can't be vulnerable. He's trying to make a joke. You think this is a joke, sir? This is deathly serious. Yes, this man in the front.
They won't deliver my packages. UPS they don't come and knock on my door. They just leave a sticker saying they tried to deliver, but they didn't deliver the damn package.
I'm sure everyone in this building has gone through that trauma right there.
Yeah!
So we are here to tell you tonight that the Lord brings true deliverance.
And you don't even have to sign for it.
He knows who you are. He knows who you are better than anyone.
And the God does not work through stickers. Stickers are a device of man, for he cannot speak directly to you.
We don't know why.
What person with a direct message to deliver would stop at a sticker left on a door, begging to be blown away by a light wind, or picked up by a vagrant child looking for something to play with?
That's human thinking. But the Lord is above all that.
He works on a higher level, one beyond the incredible efficiency of UPS.
What has Brown done for you?
A thought-provoking question. But I also ask, what has God done for you lately? Oh, doesn't sound like too much. Sounds like we have a bunch of non-believers. People who can't recognize the gifts given to them by God.
Well, we're gonna have to open up some eyes today.
And not these two.
Like we said before.
We're talking about spiritual eyes.
And we like the word spiritualize in the sense of we're gonna spiritualize this show tonight.
Prepare to be spiritualized. Now, before we move on, just a quick solution for your sticker problem. I always find that it's inconvenient to have Amazon packages delivered to me when I will be at work, so I just get them delivered to my work.
Hallelujah!
Hallelujah!
This man has been saved tonight.
Now, that is not just a surface level problem. There's more going on there than your new cookware not being delivered or your new iPad not being delivered. For now, we must touch on being available. For God comes to your door every day with gifts. You don't have to order those gifts on Amazon.
He says, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock."
What do you do when you hear that knock?
You let him in!
It's not like when the Mormons come around and you hide underneath your sofa. Not when it's your damn talkative neighbor asking if he can buy some sugar off you.
It's not very considerate of him to offer money for the sugar.
He thinks that makes it okay. 50 cents for half a quart of sugar. He just slurps it right down.
We keep our sugar diluted with water.
I've got a sweet tooth, but not for sugar.
Who watches the hummingbird but the Lord?
Not the beekeeper. Not the child with the butterfly net.
No!
Not the environmentalist with a checklist trying to reduce carbon emissions. No, the Lord watches the hummingbird and he watches him work with incredulity at all the majesty of life that he has created.
He said, "I remember that bird. I remember when I knit it together in its mother's egg."
I created the flowers. I gave them pollen. But flowers were not blessed with the gift to spread their own seed, as we all were.
And we shall not waste that seed.
No. We shall spread it far and we shall spread it wide. The pollen.
That's spiritual pollen.
And while you may think of a hummingbird as a humble creature, who but the hummingbird can spread that pollen? Who but the bee can spread that pollen?
What, you gonna stick your finger in that pistol stamen action? Go from one flower to another? No, that's not your job.
That's just ridiculous. No. Those creatures were created by the Lord with a distinct purpose in mind. Spread life, to spread love, and to flap their wings faster than a pistol.
We haven't checked on that fact, but
No,
it seems faster.
quite fast. Now, availability.
That's our theme here tonight.
If you're not at home when the Lord comes knocking, what will happen to you? For he's not leaving a sticker. There's no info number that you can call later or enter into a website.
He left all the info you need in a little book you might have heard of.
Oh, could you remind me, Del? What's the name of that book?
The Bible.
Oh, yeah. Ever heard of it? #1 bestseller book of all time.
It's the the only book I know that's always referred to as the good book.
You might like Harry Potter, but I like the Bible. That's what I read when I'm going to bed.
We call Harry Potter the all-right book.
Because sure, you can learn a lot from those young wizards coming of age and fighting evil.
It's a tale as old as time.
A boy chosen from birth to bring peace and salvation to a people besieged by evil.
Yes.
Doesn't that sound familiar?
Yes.
I wonder where J.K. Rowling got that idea.
Now that's the kind of spiritual plagiarism we're okay with.
I don't know if we are. We argue about this all the time. He thinks it's okay for some British lady in a coffee shop to just type out the Bible with wizard stuff and sell it for billions of dollars.
I said the same thing about the Matrix.
I guess that is just the Bible wrapped up again. Lots of people are doing that.
We got Frodo saving the world.
Ferris Bueller.
Clearly a messianic figure.
What was that teacher's name? Mr. Rooney.
I didn't need that, I just thought it looked cool.
It feels nice. Even if there's not sweat right here, it just sort of freshens you up. Mr. Rooney.
Mr. Rooney.
Of Ferris Bueller.
Grace!
Grace!
There's a reason he yelled that word. It is not just the name of that character.
Well, Grace was missing from his life. And it was quite evident in the way he conducted himself.
And what do you think our Messiah Ferris did at the end of that film? He forgave.
He forgave and he moved on.
He probably went to a great school. He probably married his girlfriend.
Sloan. I pray every morning that someday they will make a Ferris Bueller sequel. For if there's one question left unanswered, it's what lies after salvation? There is no sequel to the Bible.
Not yet.
Not yet.
But I gotta tell you.
I know.
The key is availability. You're not gonna be saved if you're not open to it.
You're all running around busy like little ants in an anthill, going about your daily lives. What happens when Jesus comes back? You gonna say, sorry, Jesus, I got a 2 o'clock hair appointment?
Can you come back tomorrow?
Jesus, I need to go and buy groceries. I gotta feed my kids. That's more important than Jesus?
The Lord is knocking at your door offering you spiritual food.
Wine and bread. His own blood and his own flesh.
If there's one thing we know about the Lord, He's down to party.
You ever seen that painting of the Last Supper? Every time I go to a housewarming party, I just wish it would look just like that painting.
Why can't everyone sit on the same side of the table?
Well, when I walk in, I want to be able to look at all of you in a line. And I want to know how many of there you are.
And I want to know, how are you positioned, and how is it symbolic in some way?
And when you're all right in a line with an odd number of people, I can always know the most important person is directly in the center.
That's just science. Which we're okay with.
Because God created science.
That's right.
See, nature has a way of organizing itself. There's a reason the important thing is always in the center.
Let's think of some examples of that.
The sun. what would we do without it? We'd probably just be icicles.
And that's not the Lord's plan for us.
No, it is not. For right now, if the Lord wanted to, He could just send an asteroid directly into our Earth, knocking us off our orbit and sending us hurling into space.
But thank Jesus, this is not Deep Impact. And there's no Aerosmith song playing. Whatever that movie was called. Armageddon.
I think the Lord's whispering to us tonight.
I know of another Armageddon, and that took place in a little book called Revelation.
Preach it. That's my favorite book of the Bible right there because it got all the hailstorms.
It's a surprise ending you didn't see coming.
That shows what happens when you misbehave in the Lord's house. Now, right now, you might be thinking, I didn't know the hit was the Lord's house. But I got news for you. The whole planet is the Lord's house. Whole solar system, whole Milky Way, whole universe is the Lord's house.
And probably other dimensions that we're not aware of.
Now, before you come in the Lord's house, first thing you gotta do is wipe your shoes off. We don't track mud in the Lord's house. You're out there getting muddy with drugs.
Getting money with sex outside of marriage.
Getting muddy with gambling.
Getting money with hatred in your heart. For people that are different from yourself.
You're traipsing through all this sin, scuffing up your shoes.
When you drive by that Home Depot and you sneer at those immigrants, you're getting yourself money.
Now you might not feel it, but that mud is gunking up your spiritual lives.
It's getting in your eyes.
We're here to wipe it out.
I think we need to, at this point, reach out into that audience and find someone who's willing to be available to the Lord tonight.
Surely,
And they're going to tell us their problems.
surely among all of you there must be at least one.
Too much student loan debt.
That felt real to me.
Why don't you come up on stage? We're going to talk about the student loan debt.
Come on, be available. Can we get a round of applause for these young ladies?
Now, Del and Bell and I have been doing this, Del and Bell and I.
We think of ourselves as one unit, but also we are individuals.
Together we are Del and Bell, but I still exist as myself. Now, this is my favorite part of this show. We've been doing this show a long time. And it's a privilege to be able to connect with all of you at once. But I love being able to focus our spiritual bandwidth on one person. Tonight, you
That's
are
a technical
that
term.
God created technology. And I say, Lord, thank you for that iPhone.
Can you work on that screen so it doesn't crack so easily, Jesus?
And view it with your spiritual power. I'm sorry, we're ignoring you. We're getting off on tangent.
Tell us your name, young lady.
Sarah.
Sarah.
That's a biblical name, y'all.
A lot of Sarahs in the Bible. Now,
We're going to let you read about them on your own.
student loan debt. Tell us about it.
It's crippling. Crippling. Like a leopard. What?
Leopards do have large teeth.
Did you say leopard or leper?
Leopard.
Oh, she's talking about the
heard-
skin disease.
Like
Oh,
the colony of the lepers.
Oh, I thought you were talking about animals.
The God I know knew a thing or two about helping lepers. And cripples.
Interesting biblical fact, God created lepers and leopards on the same day. After the sun and the earth and man, he just started up at aardvark and worked his way down to zebra.
Yes, the Lord speaks in English.
Thank you, Lord, for giving us an alphabet that makes sense, unlike all those other stupid languages.
You're welcome that we were able to translate it all into God's language.
Some say that the Lord's language is Hebrew. I say nonsense. When I talk to God, I speak English.
The Jews had their chance.
Uh-huh.
Oh, we got...
But then Obama made that deal with Iran. Sorry. They're not very happy about that. That's too topical for this. I'm sorry. All right, so you got student loan debt crippling you like a leper.
Your spiritual skin is peeling off everywhere. I can see it.
You're thinking about moving into a colony for people who can't afford their student loan debt. Those have sprung up next to bridges everywhere. Dare I say, the person in that tent who we were going to help when we were struck down, they may have been a debtor.
They may have been.
They may have drank from the teat of the government in the form of free education. It's only free while you're getting it, people. You gotta pay up later. Don't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Tell us what you learned while you were getting that education.
Oh, reading books. English
They taught
degree.
you to read. It's a fine establishment of higher learning.
Tell me, at what level did you tackle the Harry Potter books?
I will read children's books.
Oh.
Finally, someone who gets that Harry Potter's for children. Thank you.
For you must be as a child to enter the kingdom of heaven. I know that in somebody. I heard it.
Now, you did not go to college to read children's books. You can do that anywhere. You can do that in an elementary school, and that's free, for real. What did you go to school for? College school.
English.
English, the Lord's language.
You've already begun the journey of making yourself available.
Very good. What kind of English did they teach you? Reading, speaking, writing?
All that.
All
that.
tools of the Lord. Very good. Anything else you learned there?
Oh, no.
I wish I could say I was surprised. See, I didn't go to college.
Neither did I.
Nope. That may surprise y'all out there, but we did not go to college.
But we had an hour and a half of intensive training today with the preacher that was in that tent. And we know how all of this works. We now got to lay our hands on you.
Bet you didn't know that was going to happen when you said you had student loan debt.
We're going to drive the devil of that debt away.
Dear Lord, we stand here before you with debt, crippling student loan debt, and we ask you for forgiveness. For what is God without forgiveness? And what is a college degree without debt forgiveness?
For just as you drove the demons out of the men in that good book you gave to us,
Drive all the digits out of her student loan debt account! Cast them away!
flow through our bodies into this young lady.
Your student loan debt has been forgiven. Thank you. Give it up for this non-quitter. Now, young Sarah came to this improv theater probably expecting to get a couple laughs tonight. But she made herself available maybe without even realizing it, something bigger than that. She made herself available to us. Not just to us, but to the Lord. And
Who, by proxy, is working through us.
we do the Lord's work up here. And now her debt is forgiven.
Thank you.
It's the gift of availability. Can I get an amen? Amen!
Can I get a hallelujah?
Hallelujah! Oh, we've got a bunch of believers out
Praise
there.
the Lord. We've converted them all.
Ooh, now, when we leave here tonight, we might not actually be leaving. We might be sleeping on top of those pews again. But you know, I'm very comfortable on top of a pew.
We've been in worse situations.
Mm-hmm.
Let's tell them a little story about how we got started.
8 years ago, we were just young men. We set out one day, not knowing what life would give us, not knowing even what we could give ourselves, not knowing what our next meal would be.
All we knew was that we were on a path together. You see, we grew up together. And we spent a lot of time going to each other's houses for dinner. Mine was earlier than yours because I grew up with my grandparents.
Anytime I got hungry around 4:30, I knew I could join Dell. We bonded over good meals with good people. True.
And sometimes the timing worked out that we could go to your house and get 2 dinners.
We finished eating by about 6:30 or so. We knew we could go over to my house for a normal dinner. One day we had had enough alternating dinners. We wanted to know what was out there in the world. So we set out for the big city, New York.
The big one.
And we made it there. But what we found was not a gift waiting for us.
It shook us to our core.
We lived in a tent in Central Park for 3 months. So we know all about tents. We know all about desperation.
And that was before Occupy Wall Street.
They made living in a tent cool for about 2 months.
We made it uncool for about 3.
Now, sometimes I still wonder what we were looking for.
We never did find out, did we?
No. You see, we just set off without an end destination in mind. We walked the path of life without any end goal. But we walked it diligently.
We walked it with a purpose we gave ourselves. And we didn't know that we were looking for what happened today.
We did not know.
We didn't know that when we found God, we would develop Southern accents.
We never could have predicted it.
But God is the master of prediction.
And we stand before you a result of his prediction. Now, we set out to New York City trying to help ourselves, but what we really discovered was that we wanted to help others. For through helping others, we did help ourselves. We became motivational speakers.
We wandered into a homeless shelter, and we helped every one of those people.
A week later, they was all working on Wall Street.
Unknowingly, we triggered the protests of Occupy Wall Street. Because those people did not know how to be sound financially.
No. It turns out that they probably triggered the recession. So for that, we are sorry.
But the Lord knew our heart was in the right place.
I'd just like to point out, if you invested in the stock market right before the crash, you weathered that crash. It has now rebounded beyond where it was, and you would still be making money. See, the Lord has a plan. And in the middle of that plan, it may not feel like a nice plan.
It may feel like a terrible plan. You may think, I'm going to be sleeping under these pews forever.
You might be saying, I don't have money for food for my family. My house is being foreclosed on. everybody's getting fired from their jobs, all because Dell and Bell accidentally got a bunch of homeless people working on Wall Street. But things are better than ever.
The Lord works in mysterious ways. And that's not just a cliche. I mean, he really
So
likes
much.
mysteries.
Uh-huh.
The Boxcar Children, the Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew,
Scooby-Doo.
Sherlock Holmes got on.
Clue! The board game and the movie.
It's up to us to solve those mysteries.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes before you even get to the end of the book.
Uh-huh. If there's one TV show I hate, it's Unsolved Mysteries.
That is the devil's work.
For what story can't be told without an ending? I truly do not know of a single story without an ending. Or even when a story just kind of trails off.
So what we're going to do next, after we let that one trail off, it's time for the lightning round.
Lightning round! Now, we need all of y'all to one at a time shout out a problem for us. We will take turns alternately praying for you, and then we will get a new problem after an amen.
That's right.
All right.
Make
Now.
yourselves available. Make yourselves vulnerable. And we're going to take it directly to the big guy upstairs.
Mm-hmm. And I should warn you, sometimes lightning strikes more than once. Now, who would like to share a problem with us?
We need them one right after the other. Just shout out a word.
Store them up.
Drink too much.
Drink too much. Dear Lord, please give me the strength to withstand this alcohol. Maybe it would help if I was more of a lightweight. If I got drunk faster and passed out before my 6th beer, maybe I wouldn't end up drinking 12 and regretting it.
Lord, take away this tolerance from me.
Amen!
Amen. Can we get an amen?
Amen!
Next problem.
Dehydration.
Lord, thank you for putting those hydrogen and oxygen atoms together. For it is by your holy hand that you've given us the material to sustain our bodies. And you've made oceans of it available. You've made lakes. And you've made the technology to desalinate those oceans. And I don't know what's going to happen with California. But I know you do. Amen!
Amen! Can we have another problem?
Tourette's.
Dear fucking Lord, please, shit, give me the ability to control, goddammit, fucking speech. Please, in the name, shit ass Jesus, give me the ability to not embarrass myself at birthday parties, public events, public goddamn motherfucking speeches.
We have taken this Tourette's unto ourselves and we offer it up to you, Lord.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
We need another one.
Masturbation.
Lord. Lord, please help me when I'm lying awake at night. Thinking about what's gone on in my day.
Impure thoughts.
Please help me not to think of that woman at the checkout counter. Please help me to see her as a person and not just a pair of boobies.
With a nice polite grin.
Lord, you know I'm a softie for those smiles. But it's not why you gave me this thing between my legs. You gave this to me to make new believers to carry on your purpose.
Amen!
Amen.
Can we have another problem?
My grandma was run over.
We got two at a time that time. What's the other one?
My dog's overweight.
Alright, you take on the grandma, I'll do the dog.
Dear Lord,
Jesus,
when you
please
took
give me the knowledge of nutrition.
that man's grandmother, despite her old age.
Help me cut those carbs out of that dog's diet.
It may have been before her time.
Protein! Protein is what that dog needs.
Please give us the good grace to look both ways before we cross the street.
That dog's heart healthy, and his nails clean.
Please give me a new grandmother to replace my dead one. Or may she rise from the dead as Lord Jesus did after the third day.
And may that dog's age in dog years be greater than my own.
Amen!
Amen!
Amen.
That was a good lightning round.
May that conclude the lightning round. Thank you. Now,
This music has been wooing me all night.
you know, maybe we should hire you to just walk around with us with your keyboard wherever we go.
God's pulling me to the same conclusions.
We
He's
probably
feeling the tug of the Lord.
we
Tug,
may-
tug, tug.
Tug, tug, tug. Hey, it's Jesus. Tug, tug, tug.
Oh,
Hey.
oh, my sleeve.
Oh, yeah.
Please,
You're walking down the street. Just do a little.
Must be the Lord talking to me.
Are you available when you feel that tug? Or do you keep walking?
Do you try to write it off? Oh, that must have been a rude passerby.
Oh, maybe that kid riding his bike sort of clipped me. And it wasn't as hard as I thought it would have been.
Sometimes the Lord can be subtle. And sometimes the Lord wants you to make a website that everyone can see.
Preach it.
But we're not talking about the Westboro Baptist Church. No, they have gone astray.
They're doing Satan's work. God hates no one.
The Lord created the rainbow, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen. And the people of the rainbow will always be his children.
Yes.
We would not pray to a hateful, spiteful God.
No. He has created each of us in the way that he desires, except for all the bad stuff we do.
He can't really take responsibility for that. That's on you guys.
Free will.
Free will indeed.
We got a theologian behind the organ tonight. Ooh.
I don't like to walk through my life looking backwards upon what may have been or what may not have been.
You can't walk through life looking behind you.
No, I like to keep my eyes straight forward. Occasionally I will look side to side.
To see who's on this journey with me. Oh, it's you.
Oh, I didn't see you there until I turned the right direction.
Now let's look forward together.
What do you see, Dal?
I see a lot of people who need our help.
A lot of people.
I see a lot of people in pain.
A lot of people going through trials, tribulations.
A lot of people who might not know what's coming next.
But that's okay. For just as we are keeping ourselves pointed forward towards you, we ask that you keep yourselves pointed forward towards God. For you can see when there are signs cast in front of you.
You may see the path that lies ahead because it has been illuminated for you.
And when you see those signs, please take heed, for we may not have been run over by a truck if we had done that.
Sign, everywhere a sign.
Everywhere a sign. Stop sign, yield sign.
I saw the sign.
I saw the
And it
sign.
opened up my eyes, I saw the sign.
Open them up wide.
I got a new life. I can hardly recognize it. I'm so glad.
Well, dare I say, today's the first day of our life.
The Lord has created a base beneath us. And he has made us the ace of that base.
And he said, please, see and hear the sign from that ace of base.
And if you can do some choreography with it, that's all so much the better.
It really draws people in.
I look
into your eyes.
I see the Lord staring back at me.
That's what I see.
And when I look,
Right deep down into those eyes.
they are the windows to your soul.
Please, people, make yourselves available to each other, to the Lord, to your beautiful lives out there.
We are all responsible for one another.
Be kind to each other.
Be excellent to one another.
Live your lives with love, not hate.
Live your lives with acceptance, not disapproval.
With passion and not apathy.
And when you see someone get hit by a Mack truck, go over and help them.
And give them the only thing they need to help them heal themselves. The Holy Bible.
And also call 911.
Thank you. And please stick around because I think there's more comedy after this.